Zero Chill head-to-head event, and we are going to be taking a look at what we're up against here today. We're going to see how we do, and we're going to be talking a little bit about our schemes. Now, as far as playbooks go, I am currently in the Jets offensive playbook, and I'm in the Jags defensive playbook. If you want to get both of those ebooks, they're going to be available in our school community, and that link will be in the description below. $10 gets you access to everything, all of our offensive, defensive ebooks for both Madden and for college football. So if you want to take your game to the next level in either one of those games, that link is in the description below. All right, so what I'm going to be doing here is setting my coach adjustments first. Auto flip off, defensive motion response disabled, read key conservative, pitch key aggressive, pass and read key conservative. Here's a quick tip. If you ever run, the clock is running down on defense like that, all you want to do is just pause the game and then unpause the game. As you see, it's going to reset. And then at the bottom here, what we're going to do is we're going to put our safety depth on close and our safety width on pinch. And what I like to do to start out, really regardless of what I'm playing, who I'm playing, I just want to get out here and get in dollar. And what I like to do is 2 curl flats and then 2 hook curls, basically just a simple cover 3. And I just want to see if you can beat it, right? I just want to see if you can beat it. And he throws a pick, first play, right? Again, you got to make your opponent, to a degree, like work. So what I want to do is I want to just basically give you the opportunity to beat yourself, right? As we get a 15-point touchdown. Now, quick here, coach adjustments for offense. Might as well set them since we're here. Auto pass protection on base. Now, I'm learning a little bit more over the games here, how this event works. And basically, I think I can get 3 points if I get this conversion here. So I'm going to go for 2. I'm going to start going for 2 every time. I actually only got 2 points, so I guess I don't know how this event works. I'm still figuring out the scoring in this event. I'm going to be honest. I'm not exactly sure how this thing works. But we get 15 points. So what that basically means here is we start out the game with essentially a 3-possession lead by getting that 2-point conversion. So it completely changes how I would play defense. And I really believe if you want a good quality defensive strategy, both for this event and for Madden 26 in general, I really am a big fan of bend but don't break defense. And especially this year, like what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get into B-Dog. The reason I'm going to get into B-Dog is just because of the way that I anticipate this game going. He's going to kind of run a lot of different stuff. I want to be relatively simple in how I want to play. So as you can see here, we're just setting up our basic defense. We're going to let these double or nothings go to work. By the way, if you're playing this game, you've got to have, I don't care what defense you are running. I am such a big believer in having every defensive lineman at a minimum, especially now with the fact that there's so many ways to get this. Double or nothings is a minimum on your D line, in my opinion. Okay. I'm going to spread, slant down. I get really good sheds from this look, and we're just going to try to make you have to take the underneath, right? That is not really, maybe could have caught that, but realistically, we're going to play bend but don't break, try to keep everything in front of me. It's also why I like in big nickel over G, I really like the cover 4 shell because it backs off those corners and those safeties get in a pretty good alignment. When you show blitz your linebackers, you're able to then get those linebackers to always be in the spots that you want them to be. I also have a breakdown of this big nickel over G defense in our school community. This is quickly becoming probably my favorite way to play defense right now. And yeah, I just really enjoy this defense. It's real simple, and I'm not going to have to do a whole lot. I can get pressure from this look. I don't think you necessarily have to blitz, though. This is the first Madden I've played in a while where I don't feel like a necessity to have an unbelievable blitz. I think you need the ability or capability to get some level of pressure if they don't, respect your blitz threat. But ultimately, you're seeing some of the best defenses in the game basically be dollar, and it's really not because of the pressure. It's because of the coverage. This is definitely a coverage game is all I'm trying to get at here. So anyway, let's see if this return route can cook. A little short and elite. Probably my favorite part of this promo so far is the fact that you can have man coverage beating abilities. The man coverage was getting kind of crazy, and he's going to go ahead and get out of there early. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into game number 2. Now, again, One of the things that I'm a huge believer in this event, and also just in head to head in general, is not necessarily just giving your opponent ways to beat themselves. So one thing you got to do always, I think, in your settings is you always want to select kick. You don't want to select receive first. You always want to get ball at half. Auto pass protection. Typically, you want that on base unless you're playing a player that is using a stunt defense. If you're playing like single mug or something and they're doing a lot of Texas four-man stunts, then that would be a scenario where you might want to be on empty protection. But for most of the basic blitzes in this game, I do think base protection makes a lot of sense just because there's a lot less fluke in base protection. Coach adjustments on defense again. I'm going to always start out in dollar just to kind of see. I'm going to go auto flip off, defensive motion response disabled, option read key conservative, option pitch key conservative, option pitch key aggressive. RPO read and pass key are both going to be on conservative. At the bottom here, we're going to go safety depth on close, safety width on pinch. And again, we can pause, and this is going to give us a little bit more time to be able to get our settings set, get our defense ready to go. It's always important to get your defense ready to go before you get onto the field here. I'm going to put Darius Smith in the game, and then we're going to be good to go. Now, he's going to be running Y off trio close. So what we have to worry about really primarily is this running back. This duo run out of here is pretty good. Everything in Wild Trail Close is a play action play. If he's going to run a lot of Wild Trail Close, like he stays in it, I'm definitely going to want to get out of dollar because the dollar blitz is just not very good if they're going to be running a lot of play action. We get that deep half off. I'm going to get a curl flat, do a little cover two here to the short side. And we'll see if he ends up running the ball a lot more. I'm going to actually kind of hover over here, try to get in there and shoot the run a little bit. And it does look like he's going to run. So I think I'm going to go ahead just because I think he is going to probably stay in this and just set up big nickel. So what I'm doing on big nickel right now is I'm putting, basically the slot cornerback package, make sure Adderley's there, make sure Bates is up top, make sure Winfield is there. And it does look like he's going to come out in an under center run, which, again, here I'm just going to run my cover 3 base defense. I got 2 curl flats. I got a hook curl. I'm really watching for the seams. I'm okay giving that up. Just make you check it down. I just want to see, kind of what your basic strategy is. Are you going to run the ball a lot? Are you going to run random plays a lot? That's what I always like to see. And I'm pretty much going to run that same strategy. I don't really like to blitz a lot on the first drive of the game. Unless it's like an obvious passing situation, just because I don't want to give up any one-play touchdowns. I want you to have to actually, basically what I want you to do is I want you to have to throw the ball in the intermediate area of the field consistently to score. That's my ideal scenario is making you throw, as you see right there, like making you throw crossers, not flat routes. I don't want to give the flat routes up. I will give the flat routes up some. But like here, situationally, 3rd and 2, I think I will go ahead and send some pressure in this specific situation. Now, what I need to make sure of here, all right, I'm going to come out in mid blitz, but I'm going to be in a cover 2 shell, and we're just going to play relatively aggressive. I've got to flip the play. I'm going to put a hard flat here, and I totally messed up my adjustments. So you see right there, that's why I don't get aggressive on the first drive. Like, I could have easily got a stop, but I forgot to take auto flip off, right? So anyway, those are just like little things that you kind of learn over time. And he's kind of mixing up his plays a lot. So I'm going to get back into the dollar. And here I'm going to put that middle third on the wide side, try to just stop the run, get him in a down and distance where he has to pass. So much of the first drive, there's so many pieces of information that I feel like you gain on the first drive. You gain kind of the core of the scheme that you're playing, which is super, super important. And he's going to throw a little seam streak. Should have thrown an interception right there. Those seam flats went crazy. I wasn't even able to get them off. So now here, we're in a 3rd and 9 situation. Now, because we're in a 3rd and 9 situation and kind of just the way this game has gone so far, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send pressure and I'm going to route commit to the inside here. So effectively, I'm going to switch stick to the left. I got hard flat for the running back and a vert hook. Depending on what the running back runs, we should be able to cover him pretty well. And then I'm going to go ahead and preset my user to go down, trying to get real good pressure, really looking over here, looking for that crosser, good user, and we're able to get a stop. The reason I went with that is because the way that he's playing offense, it's really hard to beat a consistent 5-on-5 blitz with the way he's playing because he's sending 5 out a lot. And then the other little thing that's happening quite a bit is he's running, 15 different formations. When people do that, they normally don't have, a great way to be able to beat man coverage. So like here, I'm going to put a purple over here. Got to watch for the running back, and this should just be a swat. I don't know what just happened. That's actually ridiculous that was a touchdown. My corner just like stopped running. I'm sure that was somehow my fault. I literally clicked onto him and ran back, and he just kind of ran in quicksand and just stopped. I was just trying to swat the ball away. It's unfortunate. But ultimately, as you see here, so then one of the biggest things you can do when you're playing head to head, especially when you're playing somebody like this, is not get discouraged. You just keep one foot in front of the other, trust the process. If you score every time, you get ball at half. There's a lot of things that are advantages here. So offensively, the biggest thing that I want to do early on is identify, I want to call high percentage plays, and I want to kind of identify his core strategy. How does he want to play this game? That's really the question that I'm trying to get at here. One of the big tips I haven't given a ton. Bunch X Nasty, what you want to do here is you want to go to the tight end slot package. If he runs any form of cover 0, this is going to give me a really good opportunity to be able to attack any kind of cover 0 here. So just setting up my guys back in, and then we'll be able to get on the field here. Unfortunately, I did not mean to call this play, but we're just going to run this real quick. Just take our little basic dump down here. See if Bettis can truck anybody. He just got he got popped. He did not do very good. All right. I'm getting spacing switch here. So my first thing is I want to make you have to defend the flats. So as I kind of read here, you see he's in like a nickel 3-3. Not a great blitz threat from this, at least the way he's got it set up. So my main read here is to high-low this flat defender consistently. And you see he's not going to defend the flats. So this should be a free, 10 to 15 yards. Until he makes a decision consciously to stop that route, I can continue to throw that route. So I like to kind of try to basically make you guard that route in a couple different ways. One of the easiest ways is, as you see here, he's kind of showing like a little cover 3 look, and he's got his 4 down lineman. So I'm mainly reading this flat defender. You see again, he just kind of gives it up. Looks like he's user in the D line. So this should be a fun time on offense for us. And then, again, I like to just run like good quality plays. I don't feel like it has to be that crazy complicated offensively. The biggest thing is you want to try to isolate specific people that you're trying to attack. So like right here, I'm going to try. So I've, called a couple plays back to back to the left side. Now I want to call something that's going to attack the right sideline. So as you see here, this corner route should get open. As you see, he runs man coverage. That's just free. That's why I love the fact that we get short and elite, because man coverage is going to struggle to defend something like that. Now, this is where I'll use like a tendency breaker type of play. Just got a big play, and I don't want to overcomplicate the game. What I want to do is see, how does he handle a flip? How does he handle an RPO? Always like to see that. So right here, what I like to do, especially the nice part about Jets, is you have a couple good ways to get to RPOs. And I think one of the best reasons to actually run Jets is for this trip side and offset, because this RPO bubble out of this trips is really good. Now he's showing a zone look here. I don't like to put the flat if he's going to show a zone. I'm going to actually just run the basic bubble and just get nice blocking there. And as you see, didn't do too much to really adjust to the flip. So what that tells me is I can get a numbers advantage if I'm willing to flip consistently. It's all about putting the defense in position where we can basically out leverage them to different parts of the field where it's virtually impossible for them to have the resources needed to be able to defend whatever it is we're trying to do. So that's kind of the goal going forward, is, as we just kind of saw, he's not gonna do a whole lot on the flipping game. So you always want to just see that. So what you're going to see here is I'm going to come out in short side bunch, and then I'm going to flip or audible to bunch tight end, which puts me in a wide side bunch, as you can see here. And then what I want to do is just do my standard flood combination. Primarily looking for the corner. It looks like he's in man coverage. Don't like how that corner ran that time. I'm just going to dump it down to the tight end and just take some easy yardage there over the middle. And it's, again, it's all about trying to identify, are you running man or zone? And then how are you adjusting whatever it is you're doing? Now, when I get down here in the red zone, especially my first drive, and especially if I'm down 7, I want to make it as easy as possible. So what I'm going to do here is untarget the slot corner. Normally, that will make him kind of dumb out, and I can throw this bubble or this flat. Unfortunately for me, the bubble did not do a good job of bubbling, and we were not able to hit that route. 2nd and goal from the 5. Again, I don't want to overcomplicate offense down here at all. So what I like to do is, a couple different things. I think that this this motion play could be okay. I'm going to look at this flat here and just see. You see how that guy's in the run fit, very nice, and then we're able to just take a free flat route. Now, because of this kind of mode and the way the scoring is handled, I personally like my chances this year in the red zone for a couple different reasons. I can run, I can pass, I got good plays down here in the red zone. And I don't feel like his defense is, like you see right here, like this is an obvious, like pretty good opportunity here to run. I think what I want to do here is just run the trips RPO, and we'll just see if he's able to handle it. Just going to look at that bubble screen, and you see how he sprints out for the bubble, and that's just a free 2 points, right? And it gives it, what it does is it puts us in the lead of the game. So now we are technically up 1 possession, and we're going to play like a 2-point conversion game now, which he's not going to want to play. I trust my defense to get a stop a lot more than I trust my defense to get a stop down there a lot more than I trust his offense to. So I don't do that against everybody, but I do that against specific people, really just to, again, try to play situational football. A lot of Madden is actually about situational awareness. I think more and more, at least it is for me, just because I don't have the best stick skill. I don't have the best user. I have to kind of outthink you to be even relevant. So anyway, goes to whips here, and that's totally fine with me. We just force a dump down. Now 3 minutes and 20 seconds. The best thing for me is probably that he scores instantly. So you might see me do a little bit more blitzing on this drive. And we'll just kind of see how this goes. I also want to see, is he going to consistently send 5 out? Just trying to kind of midpoint that. I should have switched it. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 1. I'm going to send a little pressure here. Got hard flat coverage. Get a little gap pressure from the B-Nog. B-Nog, I'm telling you, the B-Nog pressure is really underrated. People don't realize how good this B-Nog pressure can be. I would assume he's going to send 5 out again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this LB blitz. It's a little better of a blitz look. And I think here, I'm just going to user this guy. I'm just going to try to get the center to go this direction. Just going to send some good pressure. Almost got A-gap pressure. And I don't understand how that's open. It's the 2nd time he's hit me on something that I don't think is really that open, but it's open. Honestly, though, I mean, how did he get 8 points? See, the scoring system in this mode is really, really frustrating. All right, I have a new idea here for a little red zone defense. Shade inside with hard flats. I got my user here. And that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Okay. I think I'm going to get back in the... I don't want to be in dollar really down here, though. I think the best... Honestly, I kind of like the idea of blitzing here. Good pressure, get a sack. That's a big sack. So now I'm able to take a timeout, and now I can play defense a little bit more situationally based on this based on what just happened. So, I could do all kinds of different things within this defense to get pressure, but at the core, what I want to do here, I got a mid read, I got two deep halves. I really like mid reads in this game. I think they're one of the better zones. So you'll see that mid read do a pretty good job getting in the middle. That's good pressure. And that's the power of Beanog, man. You get some really, really good sheds. Now, based on the situation here, 3rd and goal, to me, I just think, we're going to go cover 2 here. And what I'm going to do is run a pass committed cover 2. Just play basic. Gets a bad throw. Should have been able to complete that, but he ended up getting a bad throw. That he should settle for 3. He might not, though. And if he doesn't, we're going to kind of run the same defense. And the other thing here is I also, in this situation, I don't like even come out and field goal block because, they'll do some kind of fake field goal or something. And we just want to be able to get the ball back. He ends up missing the kick anyway, thank the Lord. And now we're going to be in a position to take full control over the game. So we're going to go bunch X nasty here. I haven't ran a lot of this play mesh spot, but I think in this situation it might be pretty good. What makes this play good is the hard flat can't guard the wheel. So as long as you put combos, like even something like this, the running back should get open, and he's going to give me a man beater up the middle. Nice catch by Roma Dunze. He ends up going with kind of shaded down man coverage, able to get him over the top for a big play. I think there's drive wide corner. If he's going to run, if you're getting a lot of man coverage, I think one of the best plays is something like this drive wide corner. Can kind of do some different things here on the back end. Like what would you, like I like a corner route, but really the idea is this kind of high-low in the middle of the field, looking at that tight end first. But you see how that running back does a good job of cooking man coverage, and we're just trying to get upfield. Ideally, we want to stay in bounce right there. And we're able to get good quality yardage. This motion clear halfback seam, a great little kind of mix-in play. A lot of different ways to utilize this play. I don't really know what my favorite combination is. I kind of like something like this, but we'll just see. His user has to kind of stay on the running back. We're able to hit that tight end. I actually love that we went down there. That's going to allow us to chew some clock. And then the play that I like to run down here is this wing tight QB blast with Josh Allen. I'm going to run it to the right. 3, 2, 1, go. And it's free. Okay, so we are now winning 15-8, which puts us up 7 points, right? Now, again, the way this game has kind of gone, I feel really confident in my ability to score down here based on what he's doing defensively. So I want to go for 2, try to make this a 2-possession lead before half. Now, he's showing a pretty aggressive defense here. So I'm going to run a tight end wheel on the left. I've got a nice table route. I'm going to do a little return route and a corner route here. The main read is going to be this tight end early, able to just throw this hot and able to hit it in a nice spot to be able to get that 2-point conversion. So 17-8, that's going to put me up 9, but the big point here is that it's going to put me up 2 possessions, and I get ball at half. And so we'll see if we're able to get another stop defensively before half. See if we get a fumble. But so far, playing pretty good. I'd say I feel pretty decent in this big nickel. I really like my options. $1 is cool too. I still like $1 a lot. I just feel like $1, the lack of blitz there, it really bothers me. So he's going to go back to that wild trio close. And I'm just going to have those deep flat zones, which I need to get back into a regular spot here. Another big, I think, important defensive tip is to always check your zone drops on the first play of every drive, just to make sure that, you don't have something set from last drive like I did right there. That's, just super, super helpful. All right, so we got both slots manned up. We got 2 quarters. And then we're just going to trust our corners in the secondary, able to play good quality defense there. And now that gets us into the second half. So the biggest thing here, second half, we just want to continue to play high percentage offense. This drive out of half is really important because this drive has the potential to be able to put us up 3 possessions. And when you go up 3 possessions in a Madden game, it really situationally puts you, I just think, at a significant advantage. So this is kind of an important possession for me. And I want to play really, really efficient offense. I don't want to, I don't want to go backwards by any means. So even this would be a situation where, I would even have block if you're giving me any kind of semblance of pressure, I would put more protection. Just make sure you're always having good quality protection. I'm always looking for layup throws in this. So if you're giving me any kind of layup throws, I'm going to hit it. So I'm just going to work this kind of high-low, look to the slant route. Nice. It's a great route against match coverage. And then we're just going to fall down. We don't want to fumble. Another good play out of this formation here. Another thing I'll do situationally, right? Again, just high-quality plays. That's the most important thing we can do in these situations. So what I'm going to go to here is the play verticals. And because I just think this is such a high-quality play, my favorite thing to do on this play is actually to use a stemmed up curl on the outside guy. I've got that streak. I can get pressured here, so I got to kind of watch that. And I'm just going to take my dump down, see if I can spin him out. Not able to do that. And, good defense by him there. But I always like to just give him that look just to kind of see how do they handle verticals. He kind of decided, I think, to go to man. Go motion cross post here. There's just never a reason not to call motion cross post. It just has an answer against every coverage. And there's a lot of ways to run it. My main read here is what I'm really looking to hit is either the drag or the running back flat. I see that linebacker goes inside, so there's no flat defender. Able to just take that tight end, get upfield for some easy yardage. And again, I just think part of being able to play fast post snap is to be able to anticipate what they're actually going to do from an adjustments perspective. So, this situation here, this is kind of becoming one of my favorite plays, doing something like this. I got the ability to attack both flats, and then I got this drag underneath of it. Try to just break a tackle, get upfield for some easy yardage. And that's going to put the ball on the 2-yard line. So again, situationally here, we want to, just try to play high percentage, right? One of the highest percentage plays you can call this year is any kind of quarterback run play. So we're just going to try to call this QB zone, just get outside with Josh Allen and take our free touchdown. Now that's going to put us up 24-8, which means we're up 16. So because we're up 16, my goal is to be up 17. That's going to give me a 3-possession lead. So I'm just going to take my field goal, just make it super easy. Hopefully I make it because I messed up the accuracy because field goal kicking this year is really hard for me. But it is what it is. And now we're up 17. And now we're in full control over the game. And, this is where they just, it's all about trying to stay with the pace of the game and not letting the game get, too far away from you. And then when you do have that kind of control where the game is relatively in hand, playing really, really quality situational defense to be able to kind of make sure, right, that you're not leaving opportunity for a ton of fluke to occur. So check my zone drops. That's good to go. And then we're going to get into our strong safety zone defense here. So I'm going to shade down, shade up, just make you check down to those drags underneath. It's totally fine with me. Another thing that I don't think you really want to do in these situations, I don't think hit sticking right there was a mistake. I don't really think hit sticking makes a lot of sense in that situation. So we're going to have a quarter, a curl flat. I'll put a hard flat here. And let's see if we can just, and of course I hit stick again. Talk about something that's just muscle memory. Tight way off. This was the play that he scored the touchdown on, so I kind of got to be a little bit weary of this. He had that guy on a wheel. And that's pretty decent defense. I'll take that. So what I'll do situationally, right, just send forward, cover 4, drop, pass commit, let these double or nothings go to work, and just say, check it down. That's one of my favorite calls on defense this year. I really think, this, and what's really interesting is this specific cover four drop out of dime 3-2. It's really hard to bomb this for a one play touchdown. So even just coming out in it, you can shade underneath, you can shade up. Either way, I recommend pass committing if you're only going to send 4. And it's a nice play by the corner. Herb Adderley with the interception. And we'll see if he can get up and get out of there. Good defense by Herb. And we're playing pretty good ball. We're playing pretty good ball here. And I think that is going to get him out of here. So thank you guys for watching the breakdown. If you want to get any of the full schemes, they're going to be linked. They're going to all be in our school community, and that link is in the description down below.